Have you ever noticed that most people don't fail because they lack talent? They fail because they never take action. Dreams are everywhere. Great ideas are everywhere. Good intentions are everywhere. But results belong to the few who decide to move while everyone else keeps waiting. There's a dangerous habit that quietly steals years from a person's life. It whispers, tomorrow will be a better day to start. Then tomorrow becomes next week, next month, and eventually next year. If you've ever felt stuck, unmotivated, or frustrated because you know you're capable of more, then stay with me until the very end. Today, you'll discover why action is the bridge between who you are and who you can become, how small daily decisions shape extraordinary lives, and how to build the discipline that keeps you moving even when motivation disappears. One simple shift in your mindset could completely transform your future. And by the end of this speech, you'll have a practical way to start changing your life today. Every successful life begins with one decision, the decision to act. Most people believe confidence comes before action, but the truth is exactly the opposite. Confidence is created by taking action repeatedly. Think about every skill you've ever learned. At first you were uncertain. You made mistakes. You felt uncomfortable. But every attempt made you a little stronger, a little wiser, and a little more capable. Progress is never the reward for thinking. It is always the reward for doing. Waiting until you feel ready is one of the biggest traps you can fall into because readiness is earned through movement. Every day gives you a new opportunity to prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagine. Your future is not waiting for perfect circumstances. It is waiting for your decision to begin. The smallest action taken today is worth more than the greatest plan left unfinished tomorrow. Success is built through daily consistency, not occasional bursts of motivation. Motivation is exciting, but it is temporary. Discipline is quiet, steady, and reliable. There will be mornings when you don't feel inspired. There will be evenings when you want to quit. Those are the moments that define your future. Anyone can work when they feel like it, but extraordinary people continue when they don't. Every small promise you keep to yourself strengthens your character. Every workout completed, every page read, every task finished, and every distraction resisted builds a stronger version of you. The greatest achievements are simply the result of ordinary actions repeated with extraordinary consistency. Your habits are writing the story of your future every single day. Fear is not your enemy. Hesitation is. Fear visits everyone. Even the most accomplished people have faced uncertainty, doubt, and anxiety. The difference is they refuse to let fear make their decisions. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is taking the next step despite it. Too many opportunities disappear because people spend more time analyzing than acting. They imagine every possible problem until they convince themselves to stay exactly where they are. But life rewards movement. Every challenge you face teaches you something valuable. Every setback develops resilience. Every failure carries a lesson that success could never provide. The more action you take, the less power fear has over your life. Eventually, what once seemed impossible becomes your new normal. Your environment has a powerful influence on your actions. If you surround yourself with excuses, you'll become comfortable making excuses. If you surround yourself with people who value growth, discipline, and responsibility, you'll naturally begin raising your own standards. Protect your mind from negativity just as carefully as you protect your health. The books you read, the conversations you have, the content you consume, and the people you spend time with are shaping your future more than you realize. Build an environment that reminds you daily of the person you want to become. Make it easier to choose productive habits and harder to choose destructive ones. Success is rarely accidental. It is usually designed through intentional choices. Stop measuring yourself against other people and start measuring yourself against the person you were yesterday. Comparison steals energy that could be invested in improvement. Someone will always be ahead of you and someone will always be behind you. Neither matters. The only competition that truly matters is becoming better than your previous self. Celebrate progress, even when it feels small. Improvement compounds over time. A 1% improvement every day creates remarkable transformation over the years. Focus on winning today instead of worrying about forever. Complete today's responsibilities with excellence, and tomorrow will take care of itself. Your greatest breakthroughs often come after months of unseen effort. Finally, understand that your life is the sum of your daily choices. Every action is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. You cannot control every opportunity that comes your way, but you can control your response to each day you've been given. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because the perfect moment has never existed. Start with what you have. Use what you know. Improve as you go. Action creates clarity, discipline creates momentum, and momentum creates success. The future you've been hoping for isn't created in one extraordinary day. It is created by ordinary days filled with purposeful action. Decide today that you will no longer let excuses write your story. Let your actions speak louder than your intentions, because every day you push yourself to take one more meaningful step, you move closer to becoming the person you were meant to be. The greatest mistake most people make is believing that action comes after confidence. They tell themselves, I'll start when I feel ready. I'll take the first step when I know more. I'll begin when I have more money, more experience, or more certainty. But life has a different lesson to teach. Confidence does not come before action. It is born because of action. Every successful person you admire once stood exactly where you are now, uncertain of the outcome, questioning their abilities, wondering whether they were good enough. The difference was never that they had fewer doubts. The difference was that they refused to let those doubts become permanent. They decided that progress was more important than perfection. Think about a seed planted in the ground. It doesn't wait until it feels strong enough before it begins to grow. It simply starts. Day after day, hidden beneath the surface, it pushes through darkness before anyone notices the progress. Eventually, that small seed becomes a tree capable of surviving storms. Your life works the same way. The first action you take today may seem insignificant. It may not impress anyone. It may not immediately change your circumstances. But every meaningful achievement begins with something small that is repeated consistently. Too many people underestimate the power of one decision to wake up earlier, one decision to exercise instead of making another excuse, one decision to read 10 pages instead of scrolling endlessly through distractions, one decision to make the difficult phone call, start the business idea, apply for the opportunity, or finally begin working on the dream that has been living in your mind for years. These decisions appear ordinary in the moment, yet they quietly shape an extraordinary future. The truth is, success rarely announces itself with dramatic moments. More often it arrives disguised as simple, daily responsibilities. It asks whether you will stay committed when no one is watching. It asks whether you will continue after the excitement fades. It asks whether your promises to yourself carry as much value as the promises you make to others. Every time you follow through on a commitment, you strengthen your character. You teach yourself that your word has value. That self-respect becomes the foundation upon which lasting confidence is built. There will be days when you feel tired. There will be mornings when your bed feels more comfortable than your goals. There will be moments when quitting seems easier than continuing. Those moments are not interruptions to success. They are the very moments that create it. Anyone can move forward when conditions are perfect. Extraordinary people move forward even when conditions are difficult. They understand that discipline is not about doing what is easy. It is about doing what is necessary. Remember this powerful truth. Every action you take is casting a vote for the person you are becoming. Every healthy choice is a vote for a healthier future. Every hour spent learning is a vote for a wiser future. Every challenge faced instead of avoided is a vote for a stronger future. Your destiny is not determined by one giant leap. It is built through thousands of small decisions made with purpose and consistency. So stop waiting for the perfect moment, because perfection is an illusion. Begin where you are with what you have and give your very best today. The first step may be small, but it has the power to change the direction of your entire life. Most people believe that extraordinary success requires extraordinary effort every once in a while. In reality, lasting success is built through ordinary effort repeated every single day. It is not the giant leap that changes your life. It is the small step you refuse to skip. Consistency is one of the most powerful forces in the world because it turns simple habits into remarkable results. Anyone can be motivated for a day, a week, or even a month. The real question is this: who will continue after the excitement disappears? That is where champions are separated from spectators. Motivation is a wonderful feeling, but it is also unpredictable. Some mornings you wake up energized, full of enthusiasm, and ready to conquer the day. Other mornings you feel tired, distracted, and uninspired. If your actions depend entirely on your emotions, your progress will always be unstable. Feelings change, circumstances change, challenges come and go. But discipline gives you something stronger than emotion. It gives you reliability. Discipline says, I will do what needs to be done whether I feel like it or not. That single mindset can transform an average life into an exceptional one. Imagine two people with the same dream. One waits until inspiration arrives before taking action. The other commits to working every day, regardless of how they feel. At first, their progress may look similar, but after weeks, months, and years, the difference becomes impossible to ignore. One has built momentum, while the other has built excuses. Success always rewards the person who shows up consistently, not occasionally. Think about the habits that shape your daily life. Reading just a few pages every day may not seem significant, but over a year it becomes several books full of knowledge. Exercising for 30 minutes each day may not transform your body overnight, but over time it builds strength, energy, and confidence. Saving a small amount of money every week may seem insignificant, yet it grows into financial security. Tiny actions may appear powerless in a single day, but they become unstoppable when repeated over months and years. Consistency is the secret ingredient that makes ordinary efforts produce extraordinary outcomes. One of the greatest dangers is believing that missing one day doesn't matter. While everyone deserves rest and balance, repeated neglect slowly becomes a habit. One skipped workout becomes two. One postponed task becomes another. One excuse becomes a lifestyle. Success is rarely destroyed by one major mistake. It is often weakened by hundreds of small compromises that seem harmless in the moment. Protect your daily habits because they are quietly building the future you will eventually live. There will be times when your progress feels invisible. You may work hard without immediate rewards. You may wonder whether your effort is making any difference. Those are the moments when many people quit. But remember, growth often happens beneath the surface before it becomes visible to the world. Just as a tree spends years developing strong roots before reaching impressive heights, your daily efforts are strengthening qualities that cannot yet be measured. Patience is part of the process. Never confuse a lack of immediate results with a lack of progress. Create routines that make success easier. Instead of relying on willpower, build habits that remove unnecessary decisions. Set a specific time to work on your goals. Prepare your environment so distractions are minimized. Focus on completing today's responsibilities instead of worrying about the entire journey ahead. Every completed task becomes another brick in the foundation of your future. Before long, discipline becomes your identity rather than something you struggle to maintain. Always remember this. Greatness is not reserved for people with extraordinary talent. It belongs to those who are willing to do ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. Every sunrise gives you another opportunity to honor your commitments, strengthen your character, and move one step closer to your dreams. Stay faithful to the process because while motivation may start the journey, it is daily consistency that carries you across the finish line. Fear has stopped more dreams than failure ever could. It has convinced talented people to stay silent, intelligent people to doubt themselves, and capable people to settle for less than they deserve. The tragedy is not that people experience fear. The tragedy is that they allow fear to become the leader of their decisions. Every worthwhile goal comes with uncertainty. Every meaningful achievement demands that you step into territory you've never explored before. If you wait until fear disappears, you may spend your entire life waiting. The secret is not to eliminate fear. The secret is to move forward despite it. Think about every major turning point in your life. The first day at a new school, the first interview, the first business idea, the first speech, or the first time you took responsibility for something important. Chances are you felt nervous. Your heart raced. Your mind questioned whether you were ready. Yet once you took that first step, something remarkable happened. You realized that the fear in your imagination was often much bigger than the challenge in reality. Action has a way of shrinking fear because experience replaces uncertainty with understanding. Most fear is created by imagining outcomes that have not happened. We spend hours worrying about rejection before asking the question. We fear failure before making the attempt. We assume the worst before giving ourselves the opportunity to succeed. The mind can become a powerful storyteller, creating obstacles that don't even exist. But reality rewards those who test their assumptions instead of surrendering to them. Every time you take action, you gather evidence that you are stronger than your fears suggested. There is another danger hidden within fear. It often disguises itself as preparation. You tell yourself that you need one more course, one more book, one more plan, or one more perfect opportunity before you begin. Preparation is valuable, but endless preparation becomes procrastination. There comes a moment when learning must give way to doing. Knowledge without action produces frustration. Wisdom is not measured by how much you know, but by how much you apply. The world does not reward potential, it rewards execution. Failure itself is not something to fear. Failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Every mistake contains information that success could never provide. Every setback reveals weaknesses that can be strengthened. Every disappointment builds resilience if you choose to learn from it. The people who eventually achieve extraordinary success are not those who avoided failure. They are the ones who refused to let failure define them. They understood that each obstacle was simply another lesson on the road to mastery. Imagine a child learning to walk. That child falls over and over again, yet never concludes, walking isn't for me. Every fall becomes part of the learning process. Eventually, those repeated attempts lead to confident steps. As adults, we often lose that mindset. We expect immediate success, and when it doesn't arrive, we begin doubting ourselves. But growth has never worked that way. Progress requires patience. Improvement requires persistence. Excellence requires repetition. The willingness to keep going after setbacks is what transforms ordinary people into extraordinary examples. Every challenge you avoid today becomes a larger obstacle tomorrow. Every difficult conversation you postpone becomes heavier. Every opportunity you ignore because of fear may never return. Life rewards courage, not comfort. The comfort zone feels safe, but it is also where dreams slowly fade. Nothing grows where nothing changes. If you want a different future, you must be willing to make different decisions, even when those decisions feel uncomfortable. So ask yourself this: what would your life look like if fear no longer controlled your choices? What opportunities would you pursue? What goals would you finally chase? What version of yourself is waiting on the other side of one courageous decision? Remember, courage is not the absence of fear. It is choosing to act while fear is still present. Every bold step you take weakens fear's grip and strengthens your belief in yourself. The more you practice courage, the more confident you become, until one day you realize that the very obstacles you once feared have become the foundation of your greatest achievements. Your environment is shaping your future whether you realize it or not. Every conversation you have, every book you read, every video you watch, every person you spend time with, and every habit you repeat is quietly influencing the direction of your life. Many people want extraordinary results while continuing to live in ordinary environments that constantly encourage distraction, negativity, and comfort. They hope their lives will change, but they never change the conditions that are producing their current results. If you truly want to become a better version of yourself, you must first build an environment that makes growth inevitable. Take a moment to think about the people you spend the most time with. Do they encourage your dreams, or do they laugh at your ambitions? Do they inspire you to become more disciplined, or do they constantly invite you to settle for less? The people around you may never directly tell you to give up, but their attitudes, habits, and expectations can quietly lower your standards. Success has a way of spreading from one determined person to another, just as negativity spreads through constant complaining and excuses. This doesn't mean you should abandon everyone who thinks differently. It means you should intentionally seek relationships that challenge you to grow instead of making you comfortable with staying the same. Your physical environment matters just as much as your social environment. A cluttered workspace often leads to a cluttered mind. Constant notifications steal your attention before you even begin your most important work. Endless entertainment can slowly replace meaningful progress. Every distraction that enters your life competes with your goals. If you want to accomplish more, don't rely only on stronger willpower. Create surroundings that support better decisions. Organize your workspace. Remove unnecessary distractions. Keep books within reach. Prepare tomorrow's tasks before you go to sleep. Small changes in your environment can produce remarkable improvements in your daily performance. Just as important is the information you feed your mind. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant will eventually grow. If you continually fill your thoughts with negativity, gossip, fear, and hopelessness, don't be surprised when your confidence begins to disappear. But if you consistently feed your mind with wisdom, inspiring ideas, valuable knowledge, and practical lessons, your thinking begins to expand. Great ideas change the way you see yourself, and once your thinking changes, your actions begin to follow. Protect your mind as carefully as you protect your health, because both determine the quality of your future. Another powerful truth is that standards are contagious. When you're surrounded by people who value punctuality, honesty, discipline, and excellence, those qualities naturally become part of your own behavior. You begin expecting more from yourself because you've seen what is possible. On the other hand, if you're constantly surrounded by people who make excuses, waste time, and avoid responsibility, it becomes much easier to accept mediocrity as normal. Your standards are often shaped by what you repeatedly observe. Choose carefully what you allow to become normal in your life. Creating the right environment also means learning to protect your energy. Not every argument deserves your attention. Not every opinion deserves your response. Not every opportunity deserves your time. Successful people understand that focus is one of their greatest assets. They learn to say no to distractions so they can say yes to their purpose. Every commitment you make should move you closer to the person you want to become, not further away from your goals. Remember that your environment will never be perfect. There will always be challenges, difficult people, and unexpected obstacles. But you always have the power to choose your response. You can decide what enters your mind, where you invest your time, and which habits you strengthen each day. Those choices may seem small, but over time they shape your character, your confidence, and your destiny. If you want to change your life, don't begin by wishing for better luck. Begin by creating better surroundings. Fill your days with people who inspire you, ideas that challenge you, habits that strengthen you, and routines that move you forward. When your environment supports your goals instead of fighting against them, success becomes less about forcing yourself to improve and more about naturally becoming the person you were always capable of being. One of the fastest ways to lose your confidence is to spend your life comparing yourself to everyone else. In today's world, it is easier than ever to look at someone else's success and believe you are falling behind. You see people celebrating achievements, building businesses, buying homes, traveling the world, or reaching goals that you have not yet accomplished. Slowly, without realizing it, you begin measuring your worth against someone else's journey. But comparison is a game you can never truly win, because there will always be someone who has more, knows more, or appears to be further ahead. The moment you make another person's life your measuring stick, you give away the joy and purpose of your own journey. The only person you should compete with is the person you were yesterday. Ask yourself every morning, am I becoming a little wiser? Am I becoming a little stronger? Am I becoming a little more disciplined than I was before? Those are the questions that create lasting success. Life is not a race against the people around you. It is a commitment to becoming the very best version of yourself. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to improve your habits, sharpen your skills, and strengthen your character. Even the smallest improvement matters because progress, no matter how slow, is still moving you forward. Many people become discouraged because they focus only on the distance left to travel. They forget to appreciate how far they have already come. Success is rarely a straight path. There are setbacks, delays, unexpected obstacles, and seasons where progress feels invisible. During those moments, it is easy to believe that your effort is meaningless. But every meaningful accomplishment is built on countless days of quiet persistence. The victories everyone celebrates are usually supported by years of unseen preparation, sacrifice, and consistency. Never judge your beginning by someone else's finish. Imagine climbing a mountain. If you constantly look at people who are already near the summit, you may feel defeated before reaching the next step. But if you occasionally stop, look back, and notice how much higher you have climbed than where you started, you gain fresh confidence to continue. Progress becomes encouraging when you compare yourself to your past instead of someone else's present. Every lesson learned, every challenge overcome, and every good habit developed is proof that you are becoming stronger. Celebrate the small victories along the way. Too often people wait until they achieve a massive goal before allowing themselves to feel proud. But confidence grows through recognizing daily progress. Completing a difficult task, keeping your promises, finishing a workout, reading another chapter, learning a new skill, or resisting an old habit may seem insignificant, but these small victories are the building blocks of extraordinary success. Every positive action reinforces the belief that you are capable of achieving even greater things. Another important truth is that your pace is your own. Some dreams take longer to build because they are preparing you for greater responsibilities. A tree that grows too quickly often develops weak roots, but one that grows steadily becomes strong enough to withstand powerful storms. In the same way, the challenges you face today are strengthening qualities that success will require tomorrow. Trust the process even when it feels slow. Growth is happening beneath the surface long before the results become visible to everyone else. Do not allow temporary setbacks to define your identity. Failure is an event, not a person. Missing one opportunity does not mean you will miss every opportunity. Facing rejection does not mean you are unworthy. Making a mistake does not mean you are incapable. Every successful individual has experienced moments of disappointment, but they refuse to let those moments become permanent labels. Instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" ask, "What can this teach me?" That simple change in perspective transforms obstacles into opportunities for growth. Remember that greatness is not achieved by making giant improvements overnight. It is created by becoming just a little better each day. A 1% improvement may seem almost invisible, but when repeated consistently over months and years, it creates extraordinary results. Small changes compound just like interest in an investment. Every day you choose discipline over excuses, learning over comfort, and action over procrastination. You are investing in a future that will eventually reward your patience. So stop looking sideways and start looking forward. Your journey is unique because your purpose is unique. Focus your energy on becoming stronger than yesterday, wiser than yesterday, and more disciplined than yesterday. Keep your eyes on your own path. Trust the process of steady improvement. And remember that every single step you take brings you closer to the person you were created to become. Success is not about being better than everyone else. It is about becoming better than the person you were the day before. At the end of your life, you will not be remembered for the dreams you talked about. You will be remembered for the actions you took. Your future is not created by hope alone, good intentions alone, or positive thinking alone. Your future is created by the choices you make every single day. Every morning you wake up with a decision to make. Will today move you closer to your goals, or will it become another day lost to excuses, distractions, and procrastination? Life is built one day at a time, and every day becomes another brick in the foundation of your destiny. The direction of your life is determined far more by your daily habits than by your occasional achievements. Many people spend years waiting for the perfect opportunity. They believe that one day everything will fall into place, and then they will finally begin. But the truth is, life rewards those who create opportunities through consistent action. There is no perfect moment to start. There will always be challenges, unexpected setbacks, financial pressures, or moments of uncertainty. If you wait until every problem disappears, you may never begin. The successful person is not someone who had ideal circumstances. It is someone who chose to move forward despite imperfect circumstances. Every action you take is shaping your identity. When you choose discipline over comfort, you become a disciplined person. When you choose honesty over convenience, you become a person of integrity. When you choose persistence over quitting, you become resilient. Character is not built in one extraordinary moment. It is built through thousands of ordinary decisions made when no one is watching. The habits you repeat eventually become the person you are. That is why every decision matters, even the ones that seem small. Every positive choice is an investment in the future version of yourself. One of the greatest lessons in life is understanding that you cannot always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. Challenges will come. People will disappoint you. Plans will change. Doors will close. There will be seasons when nothing seems to go your way. But your response to those moments will determine whether they become obstacles or opportunities. Strong people are not those who avoid difficulties. They are those who refuse to let difficulties define them. They choose responsibility instead of blame, solutions instead of complaints, and perseverance instead of surrender. Imagine two people standing at the same starting line. One dreams endlessly but never acts because fear keeps whispering, "Not yet." The other takes small, imperfect steps every day. A year later, the difference between them is enormous. Not because one had more talent or better luck, but because one understood the power of consistent action. Success is rarely dramatic. It is the quiet result of showing up every day, honoring your commitments, and refusing to quit when progress feels slow. Momentum belongs to those who keep moving, not to those who keep waiting. Never underestimate the value of today's effort. The workout you complete today builds tomorrow's strength. The book you read today builds tomorrow's wisdom. The skill you practice today creates tomorrow's opportunity. The sacrifice you make today becomes tomorrow's reward. Every meaningful accomplishment begins long before anyone notices it. Just as a builder lays one brick at a time until a magnificent structure appears, you are constructing your future through the small actions you choose every day. Stay faithful to the process, even when the results are not immediately visible. There is incredible power in deciding that excuses will no longer control your life. Excuses may provide temporary comfort, but they always steal long-term success. Every excuse delays your progress. Every excuse weakens your confidence. Every excuse convinces you that circumstances are stronger than your determination. But the moment you stop making excuses, you take back control of your future. Responsibility is empowering because it reminds you that while you cannot change yesterday, you have complete control over what you do today. As you leave this message, remember one simple truth. Your dreams are waiting on the other side of your actions. Do not wait for motivation to arrive before you begin. Do not wait for perfect conditions before you move. Start now, start small, and stay consistent. Let every sunrise remind you that you have another opportunity to improve, another opportunity to grow, and another opportunity to become stronger than you were yesterday. One day you will look back and realize that your greatest transformation did not happen because of one extraordinary decision. It happened because you chose day after day to keep taking action when it would have been easier to quit. Make today count. Take that first step. Then take another tomorrow. Keep moving, keep growing, and never stop believing that your consistent actions today are creating the extraordinary life you will enjoy tomorrow. The greatest transformation in your life will never come from waiting. It will come from acting. Every dream you hold, every goal you pursue, and every version of yourself you hope to become is waiting for one thing: your decision to take the next step. Remember, success is not reserved for the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. It belongs to those who show up every day, remain faithful to their purpose, and refuse to let fear, excuses, or temporary setbacks define their future. There will be days when progress feels slow. There will be moments when you question yourself and wonder if your efforts are worth it. In those moments, remind yourself that every meaningful achievement is built one action at a time. Every disciplined choice strengthens your character. Every challenge you overcome increases your resilience. Every small victory becomes another brick in the foundation of an extraordinary life. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity, because the perfect opportunity is the one you have today. Stop waiting to feel fearless, because courage is born through action. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's, because your greatest competition is the person you were yesterday. Focus on becoming a little wiser, a little stronger, and a little more disciplined every single day. Those small improvements, repeated consistently, will eventually create a life beyond what you once believed was possible. As you leave today, make a promise to yourself. Promise that you will no longer let excuses steal your future. Promise that you will replace hesitation with action, comfort with growth, and doubt with determination. Let your actions become louder than your intentions, and let your daily habits tell the story of the life you are building. Your future is not being decided tomorrow. It is being created today. So stand up with confidence, embrace the challenges ahead, and take the first step without hesitation. Then take another tomorrow, and another the day after that. Stay committed to the journey, trust the process, and never underestimate the power of consistent action. Because one day you'll look back and realize that the life you once dreamed about became your reality, not because you waited for success to find you, but because you had the courage to pursue it every single day. The time to act is now. Your future is waiting. Go out and earn it.